Who really looks forward to the first day of school after a fun, relieving summer? No one. Absolutely no one wants to wake up early in the morning, drag themselves out of bed, and start boring old school again. All for another endless year. It's almost like pressing a reset button you never asked for. But it's a little different with me. See, I love the first day of school. New people, new friends, new faces to study. And what's even more different about me is that I have a power. When I look at people, I see an outlined aura surrounding them, a faint but visible glow that only I seem to notice. They either shine in shades of green, yellow, or a deep, unsettling red. At first, I didn't really know what exactly the colors meant, or if everyone else could see them too, and just didn't say anything. I thought maybe it was some weird optical thing, or maybe a trick of the light. It was just one of those mysteries I tucked away in my mind. Until the day I learned my lesson, the tragic way. It happened in a car accident. Luckily, I wasn't the one in the accident. I was just nearby, standing on the sidewalk, minding my own business. That day, most of the people on the streets were green, some a slight, sickly yellow. Nothing out of the ordinary, at least not for me. I remember the warm sun beating down on my back, the breeze tossing leaves around my feet. And then, in the distance, a speeding car caught my attention. It came hurtling down the road like a bullet, weaving dangerously between traffic. I squinted, and to my horror, saw the driver and the 3 passengers. They all had that unmistakable bright red glow. Their auras burned like fire around them. My heart tightened. I wanted to shout, to wave them down somehow, to do anything. But before I could even think, the car blew past stop signs and red lights, ignoring all rules, all warnings. And then, it smashed, full force, into the back of a large truck parked ahead. The sound of metal grinding and shattering filled the air, followed by a loud, terrible explosion. The car caught on fire almost immediately. I stood there, frozen, watching in horror as people screamed and scrambled toward the wreck. Police cars and ambulances arrived within minutes, their sirens wailing a mournful song. They pulled the bodies from the burning wreckage, rushed them to the hospital. But deep down, I already knew what the outcome would be. That night, I sat on my couch, curled up under a blanket, staring at the news. My hands trembled slightly as the reporter announced what I had already guessed. All the passengers in the car had died, every last one of them. It was then that the realization hit me like a cold slap. The colors. They weren't random. They symbolized the lifelines of each person. A glowing green meant a long, healthy life ahead. A yellowish shade, an early death. And red. Red meant death by murder, suicide, or violent tragedy. Panic surged through me as I rushed to the mirror. I stood there, panting, feeling like my chest would explode. I hesitated a moment before looking. And then I saw it. My outline was still glowing green. Phew. Relief washed over me like a wave, but a lingering fear stayed behind. Was this power a curse or a blessing? I tossed and turned that night, unable to find peace. When I finally closed my eyes, the burning red car haunted my dreams. Usually, at school, everyone around my age had a pretty safe shade of green. Sometimes, I'd spot the occasional yellow and feel a tiny pinch of sadness, but it was rare. What wasn't so rare, and always chilled me to the core, was when I spotted a bright red aura, a person glowing red, chatting and laughing, completely unaware that their fate was already sealed. It wasn't fun, it was terrifying. Ever since I figured out the meaning of my powers, I made it a point to get to school as early as possible. I wanted time to scout out my classmates' fate before the day officially began. That morning, I sat in the back seat of the room, waiting for the students to arrive. The smell of fresh paint and old textbooks filled the air, and the classroom buzzed with fluorescent lights overhead. The bell rang, a sharp, shrill sound that echoed through the halls. One by one, students walked in. I narrowed my eyes and watched closely. The first kid stepped through the door, and my stomach dropped. A radiant, blinding red aura surrounded him. I blinked. Maybe it was just a trick of the light. But no, it was real. I thought to myself, that's too bad, dude. Hope you live it up while you can. Then the second student entered, red. My throat went dry. Strange, 2 reds in a row? That never happened before. I leaned forward in my seat, watching as the rest of the class trickled in. Red, red, red. All of them. Every single student that walked into the room glowed with that same fiery, tragic color. It didn't make any sense. Panic prickled at the back of my neck. What could cause this? A fire? An earthquake? Some kind of violent attack? I squeezed my fist, heart hammering against my ribs, and then it hit me. What about me? With trembling hands, I scrambled through my backpack, yanking out my phone. I turned the screen toward myself and stared. The reflection almost blinded me. My white shirt, once crisp and bright, now shone blood red under the light of my aura. No, no. My heart thundered against my chest, thudding so loudly, I thought everyone around me could hear it. When? How? Was it today? Was it happening right now? My instincts screamed to me to run. Grab your bag, get out, save yourself. I bent down, reaching for my bag, my mind a chaotic mess of fear and questions. And then, good morning, everyone. Now, didn't you all just enjoy that lovely summer? A cheerful sing-song voice filled the room. I jerked my head up. It was our teacher. She walked in with a bright smile, her heels knocking against the tiled floor sharply as she moved, with a loud click. She turned and locked the door behind her. Locked it. I stared at her, feeling a fresh wave of terror rising up in my chest. And then, something even stranger. Her aura. It wasn't red. It wasn't yellow. It was a dark green. A dark, healthy, vibrant green. I sat there, frozen, my bag slipping from my fingers. Sit down, Mr. Williams, she said, smiling warmly at me. I sank slowly back into my chair, unable to tear my eyes away from her. For the first time in my life, I didn't know if my power was helping me or trapping me.
If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends and family.